David's Podcast. David's Podcast. His guests. Your fun time.
Thank you so much, George, for the major actor speaking, greatest actor in the history of podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the 42nd episode of David's Podcast. And we're coming to you inside this beautiful radio station of Lasso Radio, inside this beautiful campus of Pasadena City College. And I'm your host, David Sauer, with this podcast. It's officially a two-time nominee. And yes, folks, earlier this week, I got the news from my boss, James Paxter, with he confirmed to me I got nominated for the second time, especially for the 2026 PCC AB Awards, and plus, wait for it, I will be receiving a TVR Excellent Award with the 2026 the 2026 PCC AB Awards will go down next Thursday, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. East Coast. You can watch it live on the PCC Massachusetts YouTube channel. So overall, I can't believe I'm a two-time nominee, and thank you everyone for watching this podcast. All right, we're doing this. Okay, all right. And anyway, and usually I say happy Friday Michelle, but our co-host Michelle, she's still on the work. But however, I'm a great hands of my favorite kids. If she gave you Ricky Joe boys, thank you for co-hosting. Thank you co-hosting my podcast, especially for the third time, I believe. Thank you, David. Thank you for having us back on your show, especially we'll soon miss you, and we miss you. And overall, I'm looking forward to this episode. Especially this gonna be a lot of fun. Yes, it's gonna be a lot of fun. David, especially get well soon, miss you. And David, let's get the show started. Congrats on your second nomination. Thank you, Ricky. And today I'll be joined from she's repping the career singer, and plus she's my longtime counselor, and plus she's making her first appearance on David's Podcast, and plus she's a huge Eagles fan, flying Eagles fly. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to David's Podcast for the first time, Armine, welcome to the show.
Hi everyone. Hi David.
Hi Armine. I've been looking forward to this case, especially you. We tried to make this happen years ago, and we officially made it happen. So Armine, I'm so happy to have you here on my show. It's just gonna be a blast.
I'm excited to be here too. I know it's been a long while to get my butt in the seat.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Me too, especially you're officially on the hot seat. All right, so Armine, are you ready for the topics and questions?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Your first topic is Army career scar, and your first question is: can you tell us how did you get started in your counselor career before PCC?
Yeah. Well, I think growing up, I didn't think about being a counselor. It wasn't just on my radar. But I think what was on my radar was that I wanted to do something where I was helping people. Like that was just a part of who I am and what I enjoy to do. And I think throughout my college career, like it was trying to figure out that question, like who do I want to help? How do I want to help? Where do I want to help? And at first, I went through a couple of majors. I thought about biology, and then I tried that chem class, and it was just like a misery. So I was like, okay, that's not it. I thought about art, like specifically design, but I kind of got a little bit scared of that because I didn't know anybody in my family that was in that field, and it just felt like a lot, and I felt like I was, it wasn't like my top skill set in some ways. And then I fell upon psychology, and I really, really loved that subject. Like it just kind of ignited me in a lot of different ways, and I've always been curious about people, like, from what they do and like what kind of impacts their behavior and how their life experiences shapes their choices and all that. It's just fascinating to me, So at first I thought about teaching. I started, I got an internship working with third graders.
Wow.
And then I also got a job as a TA working with preschoolers. And that was my senior year in college. So I was like close to graduating.
Wow.
And I did all that, and I realized I was like, oh shit, this is not quite it. And it was a really scary thing to admit to myself. Like I was afraid to admit to myself that, because like if teaching wasn't it, then that means like I'm graduating with a bachelor's degree and have no idea what I'm doing. But finally I built the courage to admit that to myself and say like, this is not quite it. And in that process, I asked myself, when was I most present with the kids? Because there's a lot of things I loved about like working with children, I always say there's never a dull day, And when I asked myself that question, when was I most present, it was during the one-on-one moments. That's when the best of me came up, when they were missing mom or dad and we were writing a letter home, or, some kids said this and that, and we were processing that. And that's where kind of the idea of counseling came for me. And I said, how can I still be a part of education? Because that was another one of my loves.
Right.
How can I still be helping people? And then how can I do it on a more intimate level, on a more one-on-one level?
Right.
And that's where I came up with the idea of counseling. And then I started interviewing a bunch of counselors, and I was like, do I do marriage family therapy? Do I do school counseling? Do I do college counseling? And then finally I settled with college counseling because I wanted to work with adults. And I think college is such a weird time in your life when you're not quite a kid anymore, you're not quite an adult, and you're like in the process of figuring out what that means for you. And I just wanted to be able to like be there with someone else and kind of help them guide them through that way, whether it be through college and also like in their career path.
Wow, it's a long journey, especially everything that you just explained, Armine. And plus, you're the first guest to drop I can say F-bomb, especially we never had guest curse on the show.
Oh, shoot.
And you're the first one. So I guess you're I don't know how I say it. I can hear in Gary's podcast cursing honors. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So Gary Joe, you get the first question. You get the first question, and when you want to ask Armine. Armine, my question to you is, how was the process, especially everything that you just explained, especially like getting your start as a counselor, counselor, especially before PCC.
So before PCC?
Yes, that's what Gary Joe is asking.
Yeah, like as a counselor before. Like what? Where was I?
Yeah, where were you like before PCC?
Yeah, well, I mean, I did worked with kids, and then once I kind of figured out I wanted to do counseling, I went into my graduate program.
Right.
So a little bit about my background, like I started off at a community college too, and then I transferred to UCLA and I majored in psychology with a minor in education. And then I did my graduate program at CSUN I got a master's in counseling with a specialization in like student services and higher education. So once I got into the grad program, like I did a lot of internships. Like I worked in various positions. I was at the Career Center at CSUN. My second year, I was at the Transfer and Career Session at center at Los Angeles Pierce College. Right. And then and many other things in the middle. But once I got my degree, I started, and I was like a career advisor at PCC as well. I was a intern at Valley College. So I think I was trying to get familiar with all the local community colleges that were in my area. Like I wanted to kind of get a sense of the culture there, and I also wanted them to get to know me too.
Right.
But then when I got my degree, I started working as an adjunct at Pierce. I worked at Valley. I worked at Pasadena, and then I taught at CSUN. So there was a good couple of years where in education we call it adjunct folks. And adjunct means like part-time. We call it, there's like a code name for it. It's freeway flyers. So I was like flying from one campus to another until I got my full-time position at Pasadena City College in 2019. Wow. So I've been here for some time now. Yeah, that's like, 6-7 years?
It's a long time.
Yeah.
It's really, I tried to remember when was the first time I met you. It's really, I can't recall from the top of my head, but I I know you for a long time. It's really, I first met you a career singer, and that's how we started like talking about classes, including podcasts. It's really, I remember you told me like a long time ago, Conan O'Brien is your favorite podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're doing this podcast.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Yeah, I love podcasts. At first, I wasn't like listening to it as much. I was like the music in the mornings, but now I'm totally a podcast gal.
You are.
Yeah, and I listen a lot to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. It just makes me laugh, and it's interesting to hear people's life stories for me.
It is. All right, now we go to our second question, Armine. With speaking of PCC, what made you decide to come to PCC that drew your interest?
Yeah. I think a couple of things. One, PCC is kind of far from my house. Like I'm not a Pasadena local.
No.
So I live in the Valley, and when you're in the Valley, for some reason, Pasadena seems so far away. I don't know why. But it's not that far away.
No.
You know what I mean? And you're on the good side of traffic in the mornings. But it seemed far away. But like kind of sort of part opportunity, part luck brought me here.
Right.
I had one of my faculty members in my grad program was a career counselor here.
Wow.
So she said, hey, Armine, we have like this sort of new position we're trying to start. It's a career advisor. She's like, I can't give you that much hours, but it'll be something, And I was like, sure, like I'm open to it. So that's what brought me in some ways to this part of town. And then when I came to PCC, I really fell in love with the culture. And as I kind of started working as an adjunct, I think I was trying to figure out where I want to kind of like put my energy into investing in full time. And for me, that was Pasadena. So I always say I'm like really kind of lucky and blessed to be here. And I think why PCC is because the values of the institution, like it's an innovative campus, it's creative. I think it has excellent programming for students.
100%.
It really like cares about its people. There's like a sense of community. Like when I came here, it was kind of weird. Like people were like, oh, my mom went here, my grandma went here, people had like an attachment to this campus. And I sort of fell in love with that. I thought that was a really beautiful thing. And I wanted to kind of be a part of that for myself and also for the students I serve too. So that's what brought me to PCC. I think it was like an alignment of sort of my values as a professional and then the values of the institution.
Me too. I agree, Armine. Especially when I first came here at PCC in 2015, I think I told you a story, but I apologize for repeating myself. 2015, I transferred from Rehome to PCC. Especially when I first came to PCC, I felt like, wow, PCC is opening the doors for me. And then when I saw like a PCC coming there, especially the agent fire, including the multi-report machine, especially PCC came together. Especially, I love how PCC brings everyone like all one circle, and especially PCC, we take care of our students, our staff, especially everyone, and that's why I love PCC. Especially PCC, so far it's my favorite school I ever been, and especially I'm glad I'm a Lancer. Especially been here for 11 years, which I can't believe I've been here for that long, and PCC by far is one of the great schools, especially that forever changed my life, and I love this school so much. All right, Ricky, now your turn. Armine, my question to you is, when PCC came to your radar, did you know that PCC was the right fit for you before you came to campus?
Yeah, I think having had sort of been a career advisor here, like I too got to test out the campus and get a feel for it. So that was really helpful for me. Like, I wasn't just kind of applying to a position and just saying, oh, this is a position I like at this campus. So I was like an internal applicant, having had another role and then serving as an adjunct and a full-time, I think it allowed me to feel out the campus too, and I really felt that alignment. Like I found myself like striving towards it,
Right.
And I like the people that I work with. Like, I like the community. I like the student population. I like the programming. And mind you, every campus has its problems. I'm not
do.
saying PCC doesn't have its own.
No.
But I think it's problems I want to deal with. You know,
Yeah, me too, Armin.
it's stuff that there's no perfect institution, as there is no perfect human being, right? But it keeps me up. It keeps me going, and I knew I needed that at work, and PCC did that for me. You know.
Yeah, me too. 100% agree, Armin. All right, now we go to our second topic. We're speaking of career singer, which guys our second topic, and your good question, Armin, is how did you get hired at career singer, and what was the process leading up to it?
Yeah. So I got hired in that 2019. It's a pretty rigorous process getting a full-time job in academia. I had to go through 3 rounds of interviews, so that was not fun. And interviewing was not like my best skill set. Like,
Right.
I'm a big introvert. Like, it's it's nerve-wracking for me to be like at the center and talk about myself, and those were like hard things for me.
Right.
So and it took a couple rounds. I had gone through like several, like maybe like 8 to 10 interviews
8?
prior. Yeah. Wow. And at first, like, I didn't make it past round 1, and then I was making it past round 2 to round, from round 1 to round 2, but I still wasn't getting the job. But I knew I was getting better, and folks were like connecting to what I was saying. And
Right.
so, but yeah, it's 3 rounds of interviews.
Wow.
So, PCC always asks complicated questions, which is like multi-tiered questions. It's about like a 45-minute interview each round. So do you want me to kind of describe a little bit about the process? Like, it's a panel, you have like a teaching demonstration. So it's a process, but I felt like I remember, and then the third round, so there's like a committee of like, it can be like 6 to 8 people. It includes deans, other counselors, and stuff like that. So first round, second round, you're with that committee. Second round, like the vice president of student services joins, and then the third round, the committee drops, and then it's you, the vice president, and then the vice president of student services, and then the president. So your last round interview is with the president of the college. So I remember they asked like how I felt about it, and I said I felt peaceful. And it's like such a weird thing for me to say, considering like interviews are such a nerve-wracking process. But like, there was a part of me that felt like I did the best I possibly could. And I remember people used to say like, hey, like the feedback I would get was like, be yourself. And I would be like, so like, I was like, oh my God, if I'm myself, I'll break down in front of these people. That's how my mind thought. But I think for me, the reframing of that was like, let them in. So I felt like my piece was like, I let them see the type of person I was, the type of worker I am, and what I hope to like bring to this campus and to students I serve. So I'm glad that they saw that, and I'm glad that I I can't say I would ever love interviews, but I enjoy the process, oddly. So I felt at peace with what I said during those 3 rounds. So, and thankfully it worked out. So it was a process. It was a journey. It was a lot of where I'd worked. But I think that's what I say as a career counselor. I always tell students, like, do what you love, because then you're up for the challenge.
Correct.
Like, being in academia it's not an easy road to get that full time or anything like that, and just the work itself. But I think it's like, if you like what you do,
correct,
you're up for the stuff that will come along the way. And like, I think that was my test in some ways, one of my tests.
It was your test, Armin, especially like, I'm still blown away, like 8 rounds, which is sounds like golf, playing golf to me.
Yeah, not 8, 3.
3. Sorry.
If it was 8, 3. Like, I would probably be like, you'd be.
Right, it'd be like the playoffs. Wow. 3, yeah. James is like 3, David. 3, not 8. All right, we're not playing golf here. All right. All right. Yeah. All right. we get your question. Army, was ghost rounds very stressful, and how did you handle it?
Yeah, man, it was really stressful. How'd I handle it? Like a lot of different things. I had really great mentors. I didn't do it on my own. Like the coordinator of my grad program, my colleagues along the way were rooting for me. That was like really special. Shitload of practice. Sorry, I said shit again. A lot of practice, and then I used to do this thing that helped me because I used to practice like questions that people had and like we collected along the way.
Right.
And that was not the best strategy for me. Like I would just, I would get so stuck on it, and I felt like if I didn't like say the exact word I practiced, then it was wrong, and then I sounded like a machine. It's like I wasn't authentic, and I was like, this is not working out, Armine. But I used to do this preparation thing when it was like a memory jog of like all the things that I've done and like student cases I've had and experiences and what my why is, like, why I'm doing this work.
Right.
So that really helped me out because when the questions started coming in an interview, I don't know what it's like. It's like being on stage, it's like somehow like the stuff that I had remembered just came together and I was like, blah, 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 blah. So but I think it was a couple of that. It was both the people in my life and also like strategies, practicing, during that because we do so much throughout the day and then we take it for granted, we forget the things we do. So like I think a part of the prep was reminding myself of the things that I do.
Yes, you're 100% correct, Armine. Especially like I remember when I was in high school when I get ROP work choice, I went through a lot and man. Anywho, all right, now we go to our fourth question, Armine. Tell us what you do at Career Center and helping students for careers.
Yeah, so I'm a career counselor at the Robert Freeman Career Center.
Yes.
And what I do is, so I help students in the decision-making process. So, like, students who may feel like they're not sure where they're headed, or maybe they're feeling overwhelmed or lost by the process of decision-making. So, those are the things I help students with. I always say at the core, career counseling is about helping students get unstuck and helping them generate movement in their life towards the paths that they kind of start seeing themselves in. And that's part of my job, is helping them see themselves in things.
Nice. All right, now, Armine, we got a little time, so I'm going to go to the fifth question. What's your advice for PCC students if they want to pursue in the future?
Yeah, I think for PCC students, what I would say is reflect and explore. That would be it's get involved in things, like make connections, join clubs, engage in volunteer work or jobs that you're curious about. Lean into your curiosity. That's what I would say. And I think once you do those things, like you start kind of giving yourself the privilege of exposure, and some ideas start coming up. And then I would say spend the time, stop a while for some time and reflect. You know what I mean? Because we sometimes do, and then we don't stop enough to say, what does this all mean for me? And so I think that's the value of reflection, because you get to sort of stop and kind of see the pieces and see how they might connect and how you might create meaning out of it. And I think those two things can help you get to, like, the path that may feel like home for you.
100%. That's great advice, Armine. All right. Now, your seventh question is, what was it like traveling to Philadelphia and watch the Eagles up close?
Oh my God. So, Philly, I had the opportunity to go there because of a work conference. And I had never been there, so it was my first time. I went a day earlier just to kind of see the city, because once the conference starts, you're kind of like, in conference mode.
Right.
And it was just so nice to kind of like connect with the history of our country. And I know it's like tainted And especially like during like when I was there, it was like also the time when like LA was having riots. Yeah. And it was just like hard to be away as your city. It's like I was like, what, I was asking people, I'm like, what is going on? Because I'm seeing the news and this is closed. And so, but it was really nice to kind of see that. I know it's not like in its ideal form, but like sort of like this idea that this country stood for, and making sure that all people have the opportunity for freedom and liberty and the pursuit of happiness.
Yes.
I think that's the line. But it helped connect with that. It was just like a beautiful city, and I really like history, and it was fun to see that. I didn't see the Eagles up close, but I was in their hometown, so that was cool. I wish I did. I didn't have the time for that, but I was definitely rooting for them during the Super Bowl.
You get, especially you told me guys go to when we have one of my points with you, especially you told me you were rooting for the Eagles in the Super Bowl and get won. Especially Jay Hurts, good job. All right, Jess. Armine. Sorry, Jess. All right, Armine. Let's get to this final two questions real quick. Question number 8: how often you enjoy arts and crafts, especially working with your hands while making stuff?
Yeah, I love working with my hands. I think it's just I don't know, it feels good. It taps into my creative side, and like I really like the arts and literature and stuff like that. I think they've been good teachers to me,
Right.
And they've also like opened my perspective on things. Like, and I think that's like an important thing for me is to see things from different point of views, and kind of even like play that idea, and see how that impacts ultimately, like, how you evolve as a person. I know that's like super philosophical, but like, it's art does that for me. And then I also love working with my hands. Like, I remember in grad school when I had no money, me and my cousins started our own cake pop business, and we were making the cutest cake pops, and they were really cute. And I was surprised that like it came out cute. And she was the baker. I'm not a good cook, so she did all the baking, and then I did all the designing. So we had like from minions to like farm animals. We had Angry Birds at the time. They were huge. So we did like all these cake pops with that. I also love like ceramics and sort of sculpting and molding. And my new sort of obsession that I haven't quite started, but I'm like looking at all these YouTube videos and gonna start buying stuff is like felting. Right. Where it's like you make like little stuff like sculptures out of wool. Right. I don't know, it's kind of dorky, but it's fun. For me, it's fun. It's like it connects with like some inner child or something. But it's like I really, really enjoy it. It takes me to a different, like a place where I'm using my mind and my hands, and I'm being creative, and I don't know, it's just fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I 100% agree. Give you real quick what you want to ask Armine. Armine, how long you been doing art? Like how many years?
I mean, like, I'm not like, I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm an artist and I do this, but I just kind of like do it for fun. I think I've done it ever since I was a kid. Like, I just really kind of like working with my hands and building things, from like Play-Dohs to the cake pops to, I don't know, like, I like design. I think that's a thing. Like, so it's always been a part of my life.
Right.
In some capacity. Sort of like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know, part hobby, part like kind of meditation in some weird way. But yeah, I've been doing it for a while. Not like fully in there, but it's been a part of like sort of some of the stuff I do.
Yes, that's amazing, Armine. All right, now our last question, Armine. Real quick, we have a minute left. Is there any advice for career you would like to announce here, especially here on Gary's podcast? Yeah,
I would just say come visit us. We have like one of the things at the Career Center we do. It's like oftentimes when students think about the Career Center, they think about sort of like this later end activities that are related to job preparation, like resume support, interviewing skills support, building that LinkedIn profile. And I just, and there's kind of like a stigma, like, oh my God, Career Center. It's like, I got to know what I'm doing to deserve to walk in there. So I think one message I would like to spread is like, it's okay to come in there and say, I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
Right.
You know, that is equally your place. That's where we can start. And then also another thing is like, as a student, you will use your career centers, whether it's us at PCC or your transfer schools, use it multiple times because you will be in different places. You might use it when you're trying to figure stuff out, and then you might use it again when you're trying to put together a resume that's going to get the attention it deserves. You know, like I always say, like creating a targeted resume is an art and a science. And we have both of those services to help our students. And then we also have really cool events. Like last month, we had like 3 job fairs focusing on different industries. We have info sessions like, you know, JPL, LA County Arts, like they're pretty constants that have a lot of internship opportunities for our students. So yeah, come and use us. And then also like check out our newsletter.
Yes.
We do an email blast like twice a week. It'll be in your inbox. If it's not, you let us know. And that there's 2 of those email blasts. One is like we will promote like different events and internships at PCC,
Right.
and internships outside of PCC as well. But we like a part of our job is to connect with employers. So we serve as sort of like that bridge between the campus community and employers. So we're trying to create those bridges so that we bring opportunities for PCC students. And then we have another newsletter that comes out that's about like jobs that employers will like contact us and say, hey, you know, we have a position here and there. And then we'll blast it for that too. So I would say make it a habit of just kind of reviewing it. You know, you might be or might not be looking for an internship.
Right.
If you are, like skim it. There might be something that's interesting to you, and hey, you get to see it, and there might be an opportunity there. So yeah, those are the 2 messages that I would like to, you know, say to our students. Come visit us and check out that newsletter.
Nice. Everyone, make sure you check out the newsletter. Armine just said, especially what was you just say, Armine? Kind of, I forgot the word you just said. When you say, frick.
Like scan through it?
Scan, yes.
Yeah. Like just make it a habit. Like look through all the opportunities that are there.
Yeah, make all the opportunities for us, especially for those who are here watch on YouTube. All right, Ricky, I want to thank you for being my coach once again, especially for our coach Michelle, especially Michelle, get well soon, especially hopefully we see you next week for consistent finding our 4th season. And Ricky, great job as always. Thank you for having us on the podcast, especially co-hosting yourself for the 3rd time I believe. And guess what's a lot of fun? And Armine, thank you for stopping by. And guess what's a blast? And I love it. Thank you for stopping by the show. Especially this was a lot of fun. Especially you're the first guest to drop to curse on the show, which probably won't be the last. And Armine, thank you for stopping by. Especially this was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you to all of you. This was super fun and exciting. I'm glad it happened. And I hope this is like, we end with a blast since this is the last episode.
No.
But it was really fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. This is Armine, you're our last guest. Especially next Friday will be the sister family our 4th season with Michelle. And I forgot my first point. Finally, thank you for also thank you for coming on our show as well. Thank you, David. This was a lot of fun. And Armine, I love our conversation. Especially David, you really do great questions as always. And this was a fun episode. Yay! All right, everyone, we'll see you next week. All right, so Armine, I want to thank you for stopping by the show. Speaking this was a lot of fun, and I'm glad we make this happen. And hopefully this won't be the last time having you on Gamers Podcast.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, and this was really cool.
It is.
Yeah, and I liked the questions. They made me like, oh yeah. So yeah, but thank you.
Anytime, right? It plus, remember, plus, this show is a 2-time nominated speaker for the 2026 PCC AV Awards. It's been, like I said earlier in the beginning of this show, it will go down next Thursday, June 4th, I believe, which it will be live stream on the PCC National Schools YouTube channel, which it will be at 7 p.m. Pacific here on the West Coast, 10 p.m. Eastern for those on the East Coast, and hopefully I win. It's been also can't wait to receive a TV Excellence Award. And I'll keep you updated next week on the 6th final. All right, everyone, I will thank you for watching Gary's podcast, and I'll talk to you next Friday from the 6th final, our 4th season. Right here. Bye, everyone.
Woo-hoo.
Peace.